The government of the Central African Republic does not respect its part of the peace deal signed in Libreville. At least, that's the accusation made by the Seleka coalition. To halt the rebels' blitz offensive, the government had agreed to negotiate with the Seleka and the civilian opposition. The rebels had accepted a ceasefire under certain conditions, including a power-sharing deal. On the 17th of January, President François Bozizé appointed opposition member Nicolas Tiangué as Prime Minister. But 2 weeks later, Tiangué still hasn't formed his government. The main issue is the repetition of portfolios between supporters of the president, the coalition of Seleka, and the regular opposition.
The
government is supposed to be composed of 25 ministries instead of 30. But the ruling regime is demanding 20 portfolios out of 25. What will be left for the democratic opposition? What will be left for the civil society? What will be left for armed and unarmed political movements?
The
civilian opposition is counting on obtaining most of the important positions like finance and foreign affairs. For its part, the Seleka is claiming the Ministry of Defense, but that portfolio could be removed from the new government. The defense minister position should be held by an opposition member, but President Bozizé is sly. He removed that job. Colonel Njadere asked for the immediate departure of the South African troops, which came to rescue President François Bozizé in early January. What's certain is that Bozizé's opponents agreed to make concessions under certain conditions. The rebels were initially asking for the resignation of the president. They finally agreed the president could remain in office, but they refused to see the head of state granting himself the same powers than in the past. Besides a government of national unity, the rebels also agreed to a ceasefire in return for the release of political prisoners. Bozizé's opponents say the government still hasn't complied with that part of the deal. Sources at the Ministry of Defense say Seleka members have conducted a series of reprisals on Tuesday. They're accused of looting and murders in several cities in the south of the country.